so don't worry, I've kept this video completely spoiler free. Be aware this is not quite a video essay and more just my feelings on Wonder Woman soon after watching it. As always, if you want to support this channel, please visit my Patreon. I've grown bored of superhero films recently. There is little particularly new being done. The stakes are small and yet the stories for me a little too big. Rarely does anyone important die, and anyone that does is simply a statistic off screen. Generally, they are overcomplicated, convoluted messes of MacGuffins, double crosses, and just so much damn plot. Superhero films now are about ensuring as many films as possible can come from that first origin tale, and then creating shared universes. Expensive money shots and light humour are the order of the day, with directors very carefully managed to maximise box office. Wonder Woman doesn't feel like that. Obviously it is an origin tale which is moving into the shared DC universe, and it has expensive money shots and light humour aplenty, albeit better than anything in Suicide Squad or Man of Steel. But there is something more obvious in this than any other superhero film I have seen in years. Passion and emotion. Weirdly, as a hell of a lot of female-led films do very bloody well, Wonder Woman apparently still has something to prove. Women can be badass, and women can be women. They're not mutually exclusive concepts. Wonder Woman is about a kick-ass woman proving herself, both to men and to women. Now, I was in a Sunday afternoon screening of this film in outer London, and it was completely full, with men and women and children, and everyone seemed to love it. That's because Gal Gadot here is a badass, and Patty Jenkins is too. The action is small and well put together, the story is simple and effortless to watch. It ain't a perfect film, don't get me wrong, it's clunky and is another superhero film that is severely lacking in the villain department, but it sort of doesn't matter. There is a passion here to create a hero. Not a character in a series of films designed to make bank, but a genuine hero in and out of the film. One for kids to look at and be inspired by, to remember seeing for the first time long after, to remind adults of the good in everyone, where the tone and the spirit of the film matches the beliefs of the character. You feel very much that the filmmakers, that Gal Gadot herself, were very aware, making this movie, of how it would feel, how it would inspire.
You're stronger than this, Diana.
If ever there was a film that I would consider greater than the sum of its parts, it's this one. It overrides its clunkiness because it depends on emotion to drive the narrative. The editor Walter Murch famously said that what makes a good cut, as in when to edit between shots, is how do you want the audience to feel. Everything else like eyelines, geography, rhythm, even story is beneath emotion in his hierarchy of why to cut. And Wonder Woman uses that idea in its cutting, but also in its storytelling too. Wonder Woman is set in one of the most horrendous periods of human history, and the toll it takes on those around Diana and later her too is substantial. The war is tangible, the bodies are real. They're not digital entities wiped out in the distance, but corpses around us. There's no areas being awkwardly cleared out just before a fight here.
Thankfully, the workday is over and the downtown core, it's nearly empty.
Though we know Wonder Woman of course will not die, as she's gonna come back later, the effect it has on her, the emotion she feels, and the danger to those around her, the ones she loves who are in very real danger at all times, these stakes are real. The stakes in this film come from her caring, from who she is and what she believes in. She is a genuine hero because she cares. She wants to help, and the brutality around her is shocking to us, as we feel so believably that it is shocking to her. In the fight sequences, the emotion is as important as how cool it is to see Gal Gadot wiping out the enemies, and man does she look bloody great fighting in this film. In the early beach battle, Amazons, basically her sisters, are killed around her. She is fighting for them. We feel that power, that passion. When she fights soldiers, she is protecting nearby villagers, children, brothers in arms. Superfilms for me have lost sense of the stakes and tension, where only half important characters can possibly die, ones that we don't spend too much time with. When an important character does die, we feel that they could come back quite easily at some point. Wonder Woman doesn't have that. Death feels permanent and powerful and important, because if she doesn't fight enough, people she cares about will die. Diana fights to save those she loves, those in trouble, from very real pain and suffering, but still, she manages also to maintain a light inside of her, a heart that the film has too. The way it revels in who she is, The genuine wonder a characters experience seeing her do her thing. You feel the emotion she inspires in the cinematic world, and so the film is inspiring in that way too. It is important to us that she chooses to take on the smaller battles along the way to a main objective, for instance, knowing it may slow the greater good, because it feels truly heroic. She isn't perfect, she does have things to learn, but what kind of person would she be if she didn't try to save everyone? For me, I had become tired of superhero movies because of the lack of stakes, the over-reliance on narratives that combine and meld with other properties and shared universes, and simply that feeling that there wasn't so much artistic passion behind them. Wonder Woman may be a big blockbuster, but it's also a smaller, contained story, and behind it is a creator with something to prove, and she came out swinging. For me, this is my favourite DC film since The Dark Knight, but where that movie for me was dark and brooding, and I do love it for that, this one is inspiring and hopeful in a way that we've kind of lost sight of in superhero cinema. It wears its heart on its sleeve genuinely and unapologetically, the way you would expect a true cinematic hero to do.